Alright guys, so today we're going to be answering the age-old question, what is better, push or pull on MIG? So we're going to take a couple tests today, and we're going to see which one penetrates better. Alright guys, so what we did for the test is we were using 1/4-inch plate for both test coupons. So we did one with push, and we did one with pull, and we made sure that the mill scale was cleaned off on both plates. And the bottom of the plate that's sitting down, so that we could have the most accurate effect, or the most accurate outcome on the test. So everything was cleaned. The wire was cut after every pass, and we also made sure that each bead was at least 1/4 inch to keep this test as close and as accurate as it could. Alright guys, so we're back from welding both of the plates for push versus pull on MIG. We're going to talk about first pushing. Pushing, to me, it felt a little bit more of an irregular form of welding because I had to prop up a different way. And opposed to MIG welding, all the other processes, you're going to drag then push. So with this one, it was a little bit more of an irregular form because MIG is the only process that you generally will push with. And also I noticed that there was a lot more spatter involved with pushing, whether if that was with my settings or just with the way that you would do that process with pushing. So we had a lot more spatter, big fireball shooting back at you. And I also noticed too that I was able to see the way I was traveling. So I was able to see my groove, or would you say like route, better. But I wasn't able to also see my bead after, so we wouldn't know what it would look like. Alright guys, so now we're going to talk about pulling. Now, before you guys give me hate, all the old heads out there that have been welding for whatever, 30 years, you're going to say you can't pull with MIG. You can, you just don't do it, or you don't naturally do it. So with pulling, I did notice that there was not as much spatter, or little to no spatter at all. And with pulling, this is also one of the only processes that you don't pull with other than TIG, and with the rest you'll drag. Also, it was easier for me to see my puddle, but the way going, it was harder for me to see. Alright guys, so what we're about to do now is we're here at the bandsaw. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut them out and macro etch them. So basically what that is we're going to cut them out in the bandsaw, then we're going to polish them and throw acid on it, and that will eat away at the metal and kind of show where the weld is at and how much penetration is in it. So we're going to do that, and then we're going to show you how it actually works. Alright, so now that we have cut them on the bandsaw, what we're going to do next is we're going to apply acid to them to see how much penetration each of these welds actually got. So let's go do that. We need everything clean. Everything clean. Alright. So now we're going to dry them up, hit them with a flapper wheel, polish them, and then we'll slap some acid on there. Guys, so now that we're done polishing and cutting it, we're going to heat these up on the track cutter that we have, and then we'll slap some acid on this and see which one penetrated better. Alright guys, so as the edge shows us, I have made a fool out of myself again because the pull actually got more penetration than the push, which is very surprising. As you can see here, into these joints right here, there's more penetration than there is, again, in the push. And a reason why I think that is because, like I said earlier in the video, when I push, I was able to see my line better of where I was going, but my bead was harder to see, opposed to pulling where I could see my bead and not where I was going in the joint. So that also could be a reason why, as human error is possible in these types of tests. Alright guys, so we did the macro edge test. Now we welded up 2 more new coupons and we're gonna put them in the hydraulic press and break them and see if there's any lack of fusion between the 2 specimens that we used. So let's get to it. Alright guys, so we're back from the hydraulic press here. We broke both of our specimens. Now we're gonna actually examine inside and see what each looks like. So first we're gonna go on to the push. As you can see in push, the start had tiny bit of lack of fusion, but opposed to the pull, it fused in better actually than pulling or pushing. And the reason why I think that is because when you push, you're actually pushing heat into the root of the joint. And as we know, anytime you pull anything downhill, it actually takes away the heat. That's why a lot of fab shops, when they do MIG, they pull so they don't burn through anything. And it takes away from the heat. As you push, you're adding more heat. So that's exactly why I think the push penetrated more than the pull. Alright guys, so you've seen the test, you've seen the results. What you can do also is you can buy your own 115, or if you have a 115 volt MIG welder, and do these tests yourself. You saw the results that we had today. They differ. Again, human error is also coming into play when you do a weld test like this or an experiment. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. We'll be back with another one soon.